Black Friday, back to our coverage of it. It's supposed to be all about the big name chains, right, as we were talking about a few moments ago. But what about, kind of the locals, the mom and pop shops ahead of Small Business Saturday, as they call it? Let's bring Gene Marks in, the CPA. Gene's at the Marks Group, and he joins us bright and early from the great city of Philadelphia on this Black Friday. Morning, Gene. It's good to see you.
Morning. Hey, Connell, I have to say, by the way, you and Lauren are in just too good a mood this early in the morning,
Right.
So
well,
thumbs up to you for that.
The generic drugs that they've been able to come up with over the years.
They're kicking in.
Yeah, they better. It's funny. One of the things that came up is at the Thanksgiving dinner, believe it or not, true story, is that while all of us agreed that heading out to some big chain this morning and trying to bust down the door at Walmart or whatever it may be seems like a silly idea. I know people do it still. Maybe you do want to support the local shops in your neighborhood. So that might be the motivation for shopping, at a store rather than shopping online. Is there any still truth to that, do you think, in 2017, or are these guys really struggling?
First of all, I think everybody likes to support small business. Tomorrow is Small Business Saturday, so that's going to be a big day where a lot of people will go out and shop. And I'm sure you'll see President Trump out there at some small business, like all presidents do, saying they support small business. But really, if you're going to get a better deal from a big box store or a better price somewhere online, come on, you're going to do it. The support for small business only goes so far. In the end, it's all about our pocketbook.
So what is the strategy then if you are the local mom and pop shop these days? Is it to be more proactive online yourself to try to, play along with the big boys, so to speak, or is it something else?
No, you kind of hit it on the head. First of all, when people talk about going online and like the big places like Amazon, Amazon, for example, a lot of people target them and say they've been killing small business, but you have to remember that there are over 2 million Amazon resellers that make up 40% of Amazon sales, and those are primarily small online merchants. Wow. So, Connell, in 2017, when I'm talking with my clients and my readers, I'm meeting many small businesses that are making their money online. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be doing that all the time and only 100%. There are a lot of stores that I go to locally here in Philadelphia that they combine online with in-store stuff, and if you're doing something very specialized or you're providing a good service to your customers on the ground, I think people appreciate just having that extra option to go online.
Yeah,
and
it makes sense.
Buy from there. So it's a combination.
Yeah, no, it has to be a combination. If you'll indulge us with one slightly political question before we let you go, because speaking of small business,
Sure.
One of the things that's come up in this tax reform debate that we continue to have in the back and forth is whether the plan that's being presented, House, Senate combined, whatever it may be, does it actually benefit small business, right? That was one of the things Ron Johnson, the senator from Wisconsin, brought up, and his lack of support, at least thus far, for the plan. Well, it's more beneficial to big business than small. What's the truth, as far as you can tell?
So I just wrote about this in the Washington Post just a couple of days ago, and there are two big reasons why it really does benefit small businesses like me, Connell.
Yep.
Number one is there's a pass-through rate that goes all the way down to 9% in the House's plan. And a pass-through business is any small business that has like an S-corp or a partnership, for example. The typical small business owner makes between $35,000 to $75,000 a year, and I believe that pass-through rate will impact them a lot. And number two, big corporations are getting a big break. We all know that. But I got to tell you something, the better that corporations have, the more money they have, they will not only invest and hire more people or more equipment, but for existing employees, I believe they will take care of them better. And Connell, look at you. You will go home. You work for a big company.
Right.
You're going to go home, and when you get home, you're going to buy pizzas and go to restaurants and all of that. You'll be supporting small businesses as well. I think it's a good thing.
How do you know all that? Yeah, it's good to see you, Gene.
I know you.
You brought a lot of energy yourself, I got to say, this morning. It'll be interesting if you're right. Maybe Senator Johnson does come back on board with this. But anyway, Gene, we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot for getting up early. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, by the way, pizzas are Wednesday night, and Friday night is Thanksgiving leftovers.
Is that, totally.
That's
we have
how
enough.
It goes.
We could last for like 6 months on leftovers with turkey sandwiches.
Put it in the freezer.
Yep.
All right, coming up, legendary country singer Johnny Cash about to make history.
Burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
So what's going on with Johnny Cash's boyhood home? And how should you dress today for your Black Friday shopping? Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz has your weather coming up. You're watching FBN AM.
Come on up for the
business news with a little attitude.
Things are about to heat up.